After learning so much about determinants, finally, about the different terms, terminologies, how to calculate a 2 by 2 determinant, how to calculate the 3 by 3 determinant with all this mumbo jumbo and all the tips and tricks that we have learned, finally, in today's episode, we'll be starting to use them to find solutions to simultaneous equations because all said and done, matrices and determinants, they do a lot, but beautifully as it is, the subject of matrices and determinants, they start from problems of linear equations and they kind of end at solving linear solutions of linear equations. So that's the beauty of that. So let's get into that. So we know what is a simultaneous equation by now. Basically, we have got equations where we have got equal number of unknowns and equations. For example, we have two equations and two unknowns over here. For example, let's say we have an x and y. So let's say we have got equation 1 here and we have equation 2, and both have x and y, two unknowns, and our objective is to find the value of x and y. That's what pretty much simultaneous equations means. We can have three equations and three unknowns. We can stack up the number of equations as we please. But let's start with the basic example of two equations and two unknowns, and then we'll try to jump onto three equations and three unknowns. So there are a zillion ways to solve that. In elementary school, the way we solve this is to find x, we make y is equal to 0 and then solve for x. And once we get the value of x, we can put that value back into one of the equations to find y. Alternatively, we can make x is equal to 0 in both the equations and solve for y. So we have done that. So there are, in the context of matrices and determinants, there are two different ways to solve that. In today's episode, we'll be talking about one of the first rules that's called as Cramer's rule. It's also called as finding solutions to simultaneous equations using the determinant method. That's what it's also called as. So whenever you get a question in the exam asking you to solve using determinant method and or Cramer's rule, it means the same. And the other method that we will see towards the end of the syllabus is a matrix inversion method, and that's also, it will also fetch the same answer, but it's a different method. So these are the terms and terminologies you should understand when they ask you in the question to what method apply. So let's focus on the determinant method or the Cramer's rule. Okay. All right. So since our objective is to find the value of x and y, the formula is pretty simple. If you see the formula here, it's pretty simple. The value of x, let's say we're going to take two equations and two unknowns to start with. So you can ignore this part for now and just focus on this part. Okay. So the value of x is equal to dx by d, and the value of y is given by dy by d. And now what is dx and dy? In essence, the value of x and y, or maybe z, if you're going to solve for a three equation and three unknown, what it means is the value of the variables is going to be given by a ratio of two determinants. Okay, there's going to be determinant in the numerator and there's going to be determinant in the denominator. And the determinant in the denominator is going to be same across all the variables. So we don't have to worry about that. And I'll come to that what it is. So this dx over dy or dy over d is nothing but ratio of two determinants. It's ratio of two determinants, one in the numerator, one in the denominator. The denominator determinant is going to be same for all the cases. We will come to find how should we do that. And we will also talk about the changes in the value of the denominator in the determinant in the numerator. Also we'll figure out how to do that based on one at a time. Okay, so let's focus on just the x part for now and let's try to see how to calculate that. Okay, so I've pasted few visuals here and we can go in round robin to see whichever is better. Okay, so what this tells is, okay, when you get this equation this way, where you have x and y on one side and on the right hand side we have constants. If you see over here, we have constants on the right hand side and same over here. What it means is the determinant in the denominator, which is same for all the variables. If you see all the variables, that's nothing but the determinant of the 2 by 2 matrix, or the determinant of the coefficient matrix, which is nothing but if you express this piece on the left hand side in terms of a determinant notation, which is what they have done, just taking the coefficient of each of the variable a, b and c and d. So if you solve for this, which is pretty much cross multiplying and taking the difference, whatever you get, that's a determinant of the coefficient matrix, which is nothing but all the variables, which includes the variable x and y in the denominator. Everywhere you will find the same answer, same pattern. For example, if you see here the D, this is the coefficient matrix, and if you just take the coefficients 1, -1, 2 and 1, that's what it is. And similarly over here, if you just take this as a coefficient matrix which involves both the variables and which is on the left hand side of the equal sign, or it could be on either side, but which includes both the variables. So basically taking the coefficients of both the unknown variables and forming a determinant of that is nothing but the value of D, which is in the denominator. So over here, if you see 1, 3 and 5 and 4, 1, 3 and 5 and 4, and that's going to be common for all the variables for a given equation. And needless to say, it cannot be 0. The capital D, which is the determinant in the denominator, cannot be equal to 0. Otherwise, you will get an answer in which the denominator is 0 and the answer can be undefined. So that cannot be 0. Okay. And assuming that it's not 0, it can be a positive value or it can be negative value. Let's assume that. So what is the numerator? Because we discussed that the value of x, y and z is going to be a ratio of two determinants. So there are going to be determinants both in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So let's focus on how the determinant in the numerator is computed for each one of them, and that's where the trick for Cramer's rule comes into play. So let's focus on over here, okay, on this one, on the numerator over here. So if you see, what you see here is the numerator it's also determinant, and what they've done is, since we are finding the value of x, whatever is the coefficient of x in both the equations, in this case a and c, that's been knocked off, that's been replaced, okay, that's been replaced, a and c, and that's been replaced by the constants on the right hand side. Whatever the constant on the right hand side is e and f. So this e and f comes over here, and that's what you see this determinant is formed out of, e and f. And since we are going to find the value of x, only x is replaced, but we don't touch the y remains as it is. The coefficients of the y variable, over here if you see y and y, that remains as it is. Okay, so let me do it again on the y side. For finding y, which is we are going to find dy over d, and both are determinants. We know what the denominator is from a determinant standpoint, and we're trying to find the value of the numerator. And for that, what we will do is we will take this coefficient matrix. Let me just get rid of all these things. Okay, I'm going to take this coefficient matrix, and since I'm finding the value of y, whatever is the coefficient of y, I'm going to ignore that, and I'm going to replace that by the constant matrix, which is e and f. So if you see here, wherever we had the y variables, that has been replaced by the constant e and f, and the remaining variables are unchanged, it stays as it is. And once you find the determinant of this new matrix that is formed, that will become your numerator, and then you have denominator, the ratio will give the net value of x. And if you still need some intuition on why this is, I put a separate video which talks about how this formula comes, and it's not that difficult. But since this particular series is focused on the crash course where you just don't have time and you just want to know how to do it and not really interested where it came from, so that is kind of out of the park there. So that's what it is. So let's check out on the right hand side, because on the right hand side we have some nice color coding, so it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, so we know that x is equal to dx upon d and y is equal to dy upon d. And the way they have done is, over here, all the coefficients of x is in blue color, all the coefficients of y is in red color, and all the coefficients of constant matrix is in green color. Okay, that's why you can just follow the colors. So the first thing is we are going to find the denominator, which is going to be same for both the unknown variables x and y, and the denominator determinant is going to be nothing but the determinant of the coefficient matrix, which will include both x and the y variables. This is what you see here, just the coefficients part, and you take the denominator, you take the determinant by cross multiplying, and you get this answer. And in terms of numerator, when you're trying to find the value of x, you do dx by d, and d, which we already found d from here. And what is dx? You replace the coefficients of the variable x from both the equations. That is, you remove all the blues and replace it with the constant matrix with the greens. And that's what they're doing here. If you see, the blue is gone, the 1 2 is gone, this is gone and has been replaced by 4 2, whereas the other variables, the red remains intact, no change to that. And whenever you form this new substituted determinant, you find the value of that. Whatever value you get, that goes in the numerator over here. That is the value of dx. And whatever is the net value, the ratio, that is the value of x. Similarly for y, you remove the variables which belong to y, which is y is in red color. So whatever is in red color, minus 1, that is gone, and that is replaced by the constant matrix over here, if you see. And you leave the x untouched. So x is blue, x remains untouched, 1 2. And then you find a simple determinant of this by cross multiplying. You find the value of minus 6. This becomes your numerator over here. And the denominator we already found as 3, and this becomes your new value of y. And as a quick checkpoint, always take this value 2 and minus 2, which is x and y, and put it back in any of these equations. For example, x minus y is equal to 4. If you substitute back these values, the left hand side and the right hand side should add up. That's a quick check. If it's not adding up, that means your answer is wrong. Okay. And the same thing that they have done here. So these are different examples to just show you clarity. So you have the coefficient matrix here that goes at the denominator, where you just take the coefficients and find the determinant. And as far as the finding the value of x goes, just ignore the variables for the coefficient for the x and replace it by the constant. So which is this column. This has this 1 and 5 is your this 1 and 5 is a part of the coefficient matrix. This is removed, this yellow part, and this yellow part is nothing but the constant matrix. So this minus 1 and minus 7 replaces 1 and 5. That's what they have done. And then you solve the numerator and the denominator, and whatever value you get, that's the value of the x. And do vice versa to find the value of y, where this goes here and you don't have to have 3 and 4, and you leave the x variables x1 and 5 untouched. That's how you use Cramer's rule to solve for x and y. And in case of 3 by 3, it's the same logic. You also have this z component, and the z component is nothing but dz by d, where you replace the column z by the coefficient matrix and you keep the x and y the same stuff. For example, let's go over this quickly over here. Now you have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So we know that 3 equations and 3 unknowns. And what they have done is the determinant at the denominator is going to be the same for all, which is nothing but you take this thing, include all the variables and form a 3 by 3 determinant and calculate the way we saw in the previous episode. This minus 7 will be common throughout all the denominators. And to find the x and the y and the z value, for example, what you do is whatever variable you're trying to find the value for, replace the coefficient of that variable from the whole equations with the constant. For example, if you see here, x has coefficients of a, d, and g over here, a, d, and g. This whole column is gone and replaced by the constant matrix or the constant variable j, k, l if in red. And then you get a numerator, you'll get a determinant in the numerator also, and you take the ratio of that to find the value of x. Similarly, for the value of y, you see this b, e, h is gone. This is gone and replaced by the constant matrix, and the x and y are untouched, so they remain as it is, and then you find the determinant. Similarly, for finding the value of z, this one cfi, that is gone, and you replace it by jfl, which is the constant matrix, but you leave the x and the y variables or coefficient untouched, and that's how you kind of play these against each other and find the value of x, y, and z. And like I said, once you find these values for x, y, and z, make sure that you substitute all these 3 values in any one of the equations, whichever you find easy, to make sure that the left hand side values does match the right hand side, to ensure that your calculation is correct. So that's how you calculate or apply Cramer's rule for a 3 by 3 or a 2 by 2 matrix. Pretty much that's what you mug up, like x is equal to dx by d, y is equal to dy by d, and z is equal to dz by d, based on what is, whether it's a 2 by 2 or you're solving for a 3 by 3. Okay, so what are the important points on Cramer's rule? Value of unknown variables x, y, z is equal to ratio of two determinants, one in the numerator, one in the denominator. That's what we saw. Determinant in the denominator, find d of the coefficient matrix, and it cannot be 0. Whatever is a given matrix, which includes all the variables x, y, and z, you take the variables of that, form a matrix out of it, that becomes a coefficient matrix, and the value cannot be 0. The denominator cannot be 0. Determinant in the numerator, find the value of unknowns x, y, z by replacing the columns by the elements for which you're finding the values, and replace them with the constant matrix. That's what we saw. If you want to find x, you forget the coefficient of the x variables and replace it with constant matrix, and so on and so forth. And as a quick check, always put back the values of x and y in the given equations to double check the answer, to make sure your left hand side is equal to right hand side. That's a quick wrap up on Cramer's rule. Hopefully you understood. You just need to remember this ratio of two determinants, and the rest will be easy because you can always verify the answer. I'll see you in the next episode with a new topic.